Heard on Thursdays with Nikki is about to go live online. Catch HOT, the iconic radio show that made Philippine FM radio talk, every Thursday on the Monster.
Streaming video on the Monster Facebook page at RX931, the Monster YouTube channel at RX931, and twitch.tv/Monster RX931.
You heard on Thursday's host, Nikki Porter. Stand by and enjoy the program.
Good evening, monsters, and welcome to the show that made Philippine FM radio talk, heard on Thursdays on The Monster, and I'm your host, of course, Nikki Porter. First of all, of course, Happy New Year once again. It is still a new year. It is still the start of a new year, and we haven't done this yet. So we're kicking off our predictions episodes for 2025 with one of our favorite tarot card readers here on Heard on Thursdays. We missed his positive and warm readings in early 2024. And if you need a reassuring message for 2025, if you're still uncertain about some things, what you're going to do this year, anxious about the decisions you're going to make this year, then maybe CJ Francisco can help you with the needed push or pull from the tarot deck. So CJ, in case you guys didn't know, is the creator of the Imaginarium Tarot, a tarot reader himself, and a sigil artist who creates grounded yet imaginative spaces for reflection and insight. He combines a thoughtful approach with symbolism and storytelling to help others navigate their journey with clarity and creativity. And it's also a good time, monsters, to remind you that you can send in those burning questions for the tarot via the Monster text line on Viber or on Telegram at 0961-1367-931, or also on our live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch to give you some insight on how you want your 2025 to be. So, heard on Thursdays, let's welcome back to the show intuitive tarot reader and sigil artist, CJ Francisco.
Great to be back.
Oh my gosh.
It's always
welcome.
so fun to be back.
We love having you here. I love catching up with you whenever you're here as well. It's like a full year. So it's like, okay, tell me the rundown. What's happened?
Yeah, we've got a lot to catch up. I love that we had a little brief moment.
I know. And there were some things that we didn't really cover even in previous like interviews. Like not necessarily, they're not questions because that I would probably ask in the interviews anyway. But getting to know you more, I think it's just really lovely. To have that, space and time to we held space.
We held space.
for that moment. Sorry, we were talking about Wicked earlier. Okay. So anyway, monsters, once again, if you guys want to consult the tarot, and CJ will read the card for you, be sure to send in those questions through the text line or through your comment section on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. We're live on there at RX931. So let's get to the questions because I know people want the readings, of course. So you're a tarot reader, you're a sigil artist with a passion for symbolism and storytelling, and we're just gonna dive deep right now.
Yeah.
You know what? Why not? Out of these things you do and what you make use of your time, which is, being a tarot reader, sigil artist, on top of other things that you do, what would you say your life's mission is?
Ooh, oh, wow.
Told you we're going deep.
I was not expecting that. You know what? Actually, I was journaling about this kind of ish.
Mhm.
And I think part of my life's mission is to just create. Like, as an artist, like part of me wants to just make pretty things. But aside from the pretty things, I want them to have meaning.
Yeah.
So like when I do my sigils, when I do my tarot readings, I'm always trying to bring out the best in people and trying to show that, like being a mirror to people. Like, this is the artwork that I created for you. That's your story. And this is how beautiful I see you.
Oh.
And when people like see it and they're just like, oh my god, I'm crying. This is you. This is who you are. And also with my readings, like I'm trying to get people to, because usually we're so hard on ourselves. Sometimes you need like this unbiased opinion from someone else who maybe doesn't know you.
Yeah.
And I mean, the cards are also, I mean, they are pictures. And like these symbolisms are like, oh, I'm picking these up and telling this particular story. And because that's the energy that you're giving also. And maybe there was something in there that you didn't see
Yeah.
and that you didn't think about.
Mm-hmm.
And they just would be able to put it out and have you realize it. It's like, oh, I like that. I like that I was able to help you.
Yeah. Sometimes people like we ourselves, like we have blind spots in the thing in our qualities
Yeah.
that we didn't know that we had. And sometimes we really need someone else to point that out. Cause like we wouldn't believe it at first if you thought about it about yourself.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like it's really someone mirroring that back to you and telling you that you are, so and so, like you are these particular qualities, right? And so
Mhm.
it's nice that you get to be of service in that way, right?
Yes.
So I want to know, like, have you had intense reactions to either the sigils that you've made or the tarot readings that you made? Did people cry in front of you?
Actually, yes.
Really?
And then I hold space.
Hold
And then I
space,
hold
yeah.
space. No, but honestly, that's what I do. Like
Mhm.
whenever I have sigil clients or tarot clients, it's always just holding space for this other person.
Mhm.
Even when I'm like illustrating, when I'm drawing, or when I'm writing down their answers from my computer to my
Yeah.
notebook, it's like this is this person. I'm channeling them. I am creating something for them, and I
Yeah.
feel like it's such an honor to do. So I'm like, because people trust me to do this,
Mhm.
I'm gonna give the best of my abilities to like make it happen. And then when people start crying, I'm just like, I'm happy. I'm happy that they're having like these breakthrough
Right.
moments where they realize something beautiful about themselves,
Mhm.
or they suddenly confront something that they didn't even realize
Mhm.
needed to be addressed.
Yeah.
And then from there, they can take action and make their lives much better.
Wow. So far, it's almost like therapy, but not necessarily telling them what to do, but it's
Hmm.
like what they need to hear.
Yes.
I love that.
And like, I unbiased. So I'm like, here.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's what you need to hear, or at
Mhm.
least here's what the cards are telling me you need to hear at this
Right.
point.
Yeah. Okay. And but I love that there's really, just that connection that people have with your readings. And I think that also reflects you as a person.
Oh, thank
When
you.
the way that you speak to people as well, when you do the readings or when you explain like the sigil that you hand over to them as well. So in your experience, and we're gonna talk a little bit about your tarot. Do tarot cards choose the reader, or is it the reader who finds the right deck?
It's like the wand in Harry
Yeah, I
Potter.
know, right? Right.
Honestly, it's what connects. I mean, every reader has a different style,
Right.
and they generally choose decks that resonate with them.
Mm.
And for me personally, I've always been attracted to the artworks of certain decks.
Yeah.
So that's my main reason why I use those decks. Hello,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah,
created one, so it makes sense.
True.
But any way that you connect to the cards,
Mm-hmm.
because some people would like more like literal artworks that are there, something pretty. Others are the more minimalistic ones where it's more intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
While others are like, okay, this is how I resonate with it, and others are just like the gut feel of it. It's all different types,
Mm.
as everyone does.
Okay. Okay. And was it you who said like someone gave you your first tarot deck, or was that may have been someone else?
May have who? How did I get my first?
Yeah, that's what I'm. I feel like we talked about this before.
I
But I'm just
feel
trying to
like
figure
I
out.
suddenly my ADHD has forgotten. No, but all I remember was that when I was younger, I was around maybe 11 or 12.
Mm,
Um, and I heard about tarot cards.
mhm.
And then, do you know Regina's in Green Hills? It's
I
not
may
there
have.
anymore. But
Yeah.
so, like, I know they used to have tarot decks. And then I kept asking, when are you going to get them again? When are you going to get them again? They
Yeah.
never did. But
Mm-mm.
Fully Booked had, like, the whole wall of
Mm.
tarot decks. But I never got one for myself for some reason, but I was always like, oh, these are so pretty. The artwork's so pretty. I fell in love with the mermaid deck, the
Mhm.
Renaissance deck. Um, Oh, someone did give it to me.
There we go. A good thing that you had to backtrack.
I had to play back.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone gave me the Renaissance deck. So that was my first one. And I was like, oh, this is so pretty. It was watercolor.
Mm.
And I'm like, it also inspired me to start drawing more. And like the style of my
Mm.
artwork was very heavily inspired by my tarot deck at the time.
Interesting.
And then here we are now. I made my own.
Yeah, and that's why I was thinking when you said it, like it was colorful or something. Like,
Yeah.
like it's reflective of. I think maybe it influenced your own tarot also.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, it's like it's nice to review that also, and good thing that you because I was like, I'm pretty sure
It was
you.
me. Yeah.
But anyway, currently, I don't know if it changes every year or something. But do you have a favorite card in the tarot deck? And if you have one, like, why does it resonate with you the most?
Okay. Generally speaking, I like the star.
Mm-hmm.
We'll if it comes out, it comes out.
Right.
At least for me, the star is always about hope. It's always about achieving things that you want,
Mm.
and I feel like it's always just within reach. Like all the
Mm.
things that you want, it's just right there.
Right.
So that's my personal favorite. That
Yeah.
that and the Hermit.
Because that hermit is the one. It's like you're what do you call this? You're being hidden for. Hindi naman, go. You're the reader. You're the reader.
I was very curious about what you're. But for me, the Hermit is more about, taking step back
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
society and everything. But it's more about what works for you.
Yeah.
Like, yes, other people can say certain things, but at the end of the day, it's really you who knows what's best for you.
Yeah.
And being a hermit, like literally, sometimes you need to go into hiding.
Yes.
You need to like recover yourself. No, spend time with yourself to
Yeah.
like solitude. There we go. That's the word.
Yeah.
You need some time in solitude so that you can feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
And be prepared to like handle the rest of the world.
Right. Okay. No, that makes sense. And sometimes I think there are some people who, they look at certain cards, right?
Mm.
And then might be the visual or it might be the name of the card itself that deters them. It's like, oh, that's not good. Because Niba, you have this, you have the hanged
Yes.
man, you
Yes.
have those things. So it's like, it's funny though that when you do your readings, it doesn't like you never put it in a way that is at the like you don't put it at a disadvantage for the person you're reading. Like
Yeah.
it's you always manage to frame it in a way that it's actually going to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, what's the point of scaring the person?
But some people love doing that because it's like, I mean, I don't know, some readers would like not necessarily thrive, but they want to be brutally honest in that way.
I mean, you can be brutally honest, but you can
Mhm.
also be nice about it, right?
Is it?
Like
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me, when those cards appear, which is why I kind of also changed the names in my deck. So death
Mm,
in my deck is called rebirth because
mm.
it doesn't focus on the ending, it focuses on the new beginning. Like, yes, there are things that it's going to be a difficult situation
Yeah.
because endings are always challenging,
Mm-hmm,
but what do you do after?
mm-hmm.
So for me, when I frame things, it's always about, okay, what now? What
Yeah,
next?
yeah.
How can we learn from this?
Right.
Like the Hanged Man. Honestly, if it comes out again, I'll show it to you later.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was illustrating it, I wanted the meaning to convey about like letting go, like embracing those moments where you feel like you're stuck. Like, why did I get myself into this position?
Right.
Like, it gives you a moment to reflect.
Yeah.
And then my illustration there, it looks like someone just diving in, like at peace,
Yeah.
into a water which looks like the galaxy. So it's like you can be afraid of
Mm-hmm.
where you're at, but once you let go and surrender,
Mm-hmm.
like some things will just like fall into place.
They usually do.
As our conversation earlier.
Yeah, they usually do. Like it doesn't look like it, but it usually does.
Yeah.
In your own life. And also, for monsters, before we continue, actually, we're encountering some technical difficulties on Facebook Live, so you can also turn to YouTube. We're also live there at RX931, so that you can still catch our interviews. You can send in your questions through YouTube as well. If you don't want YouTube, you can also do Twitch at Monster RX931, so that yeah, we can cover as much readings as possible. If you guys want to text it, please do. 0961-1367-931. Ask the questions that you want to ask the tarot, so that CJ will give you the reading that you might need to hear tonight. So back to the conversation. Back to the conversation. So you said that you changed some of the names of the tarot. So is the tower still the tower?
The tower is still the tower.
'Cause-
It's one. Oh yeah, that's also one of my other favorite cards.
It's one of the cards a lot of people are afraid of
Yeah.
pulling also, right?
Yes.
Because it's like, no, something's gonna happen.
The tower. I don't know. Have you watched Agatha All Along?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when the tower appeared, it was like
Mhm.
sudden change,
Mm.
and usually that is what people don't like.
Mhm.
People don't like changing stuff up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
yeah.
They don't like surprises. They don't like things messing up the status quo.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But the thing is, the tower reminds you that yes, things are gonna get messed up, things are gonna fall away,
Right.
fall apart, but you can rebuild stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Every time the tower comes up, I always like um, bringing up. Have you seen Encanto?
Yes, of
Right.
course.
So, well, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. It's been a while. The house breaks down.
Mm.
But there's a line in the song. I can't remember which song it was, but it went along the lines of like the cracks are where the light comes in, something to that effect.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
right.
Mm-mm.
And then how are you able to heal? I mean, once things start falling apart,
Mhm.
the only way to go is up.
Mhm.
You're able to address
Mhm.
those things that have fallen apart, have maybe hurt you,
Yeah.
but now moving forward, it's like, okay, that happened. How can I rebuild myself stronger and better? It's
Yes.
always about reframing
Mhm.
your mindset.
When you said like that line, that lyric from the song, it reminded me of that Japanese practice of putting gold in the
Yes.
cracks. I forgot what it's
I
called.
forgot what it's called.
But it's so beautiful. It's kind of like, there is like, the imperfection is what actually makes it beautiful,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So don't be afraid of the tower.
Don't be
I
afraid
might
of the tower.
I don't want to pull that when we do our reading though.
I mean, it's always how you look at it.
Yeah, true. I feel like I'm calling it too much right now.
That's
It's
how the tower's like.
slowly moving its way.
It's coming up.
Yeah. But anyway, do you have any rituals or like specific practices that you do before you get into the zone of like, tarot reading, or even like, when you're doing your sigil as
Oh.
well?
Yeah, for sure. Whenever I have my readings online or in
Mhm.
person, I do take like maybe 10 minutes before the reading. Like especially if it's online.
Mhm.
Like I'm gonna play like my music, my Zen music, and I'm
Okay.
just gonna like quiet myself because world.
I get it.
The outside world. So you gotta get in the zone.
Mhm.
So when I play this particular song, and then it's a 7-minute song. So I'm
Mhm.
just like, okay, Zen, quiet, and then I'm like figuring out, like I'm just cleansing myself.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm setting my intentions for
Mhm.
I'm grateful to be reading for this person. I'm holding
Mhm.
space for this person, and I want to be able to give this person the best tarot experience as
Mm.
possible. Especially if other people, like I've had some clients before who have said that their previous tarot experience was scary,
Mhm.
was negative, because like it's like the last client I had, she was like, my tarot reader made me feel like just scared for the next stuff that's gonna happen.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, so what happened? She's like, she just said all the bad things and not how to like fix it.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, let's not let that happen,
Mhm.
because one of my um what's the word I'm looking for? Things that I want to do. My purpose.
You
One
got
of my
it.
purposes in like tarot
Mm-hmm.
is to introduce it to people in a positive light.
Mm-hmm.
Hence very colorful, very friendly, very
Right. Yeah.
playful. And I want people to have like a different perspective of tarot. Like not the too witchy, woo woo, scary,
Mm-hmm.
but something approachable and something that you can use in your everyday life to help you figure out like what to do, because these things are already things that you know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
because especially with like symbolisms, you are the one who attributes meaning to certain things,
That's
like
true.
we do in everyday life.
Yeah.
Like, oh, send me a sign. Send me a sign this person likes me or something, and then you
Mhm.
see it and then you're like,
I'll
yes,
take
I'll
that.
take that as a sign.
Yeah.
Which is sort of the same thing with
Mm-mm.
tarot. It's like, okay, I feel like this particular thing is telling me about this and that,
Mhm.
and then you create your meanings and then you start understanding yourself a little bit more,
Yeah.
which is what I was doing recently with my journaling. So when I do my
Ah.
journaling, I use the tarot cards as like helping me have a different perspective on the
Mm.
actual question that I'm asking.
Ah, interesting. All
I
right.
should have brought
Your
it.
journal?
I should have brought it and
Oh,
showed it
wow.
next year.
I thought you were gonna share your entry.
But then, yeah,
Okay.
actually, no, because
Okay.
so that journal was about, well, it was trying to incorporate more art, tarot, and journaling into my
Mm-hmm.
life, into my
Mm-hmm.
everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting to create sigils that are like with intention. Like this whole
Yeah.
week, sorry, last week was all about how do you be more focused, how do you be more determined. So all my
Mm.
sigils were like, oh, focus,
Mm-mm.
determined. Now this week it's all about creativity. So it's now
Mm.
what inspires you. And then I think I was pulling out tarot cards and I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Well, I mean, but it's a nice way for you to combine, to try and integrate, the two things that you love, and then you're adding journaling into it, so that there's more. It makes it more meaningful, or it's
Yeah.
really, really you make it a deeper part of your life in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Mm-mm.
routine. I think
Yeah.
I'm actually using this to replace my doom scrolling in the morning.
That's great. That's great. We all need an alternate activity, honestly.
Right? Because I would make my coffee, then get on my phone, and then 2 hours are gone.
Yeah, yeah. So like journaling, that's something I need to get back. I always start and then it's like I stop almost immediately again. I used to be consistent, pero I don't know. I don't know what's
It
the
can make the intention.
word. True, true. Actually, I gotta make that intention. I haven't even written my resolutions yet, like things that I want
Huh.
for to happen this year. I have time.
You have time. You have a whole year.
It's still
It's
January.
still the start. It's
Yeah.
the first week.
Yeah, exactly. Also, because right, there are, when you learned about the tarot, there are meanings tied to the different cards. There are how many, what,
78.
78 cards. And so you also have to intuit, right,
Hmm.
the aside from the meaning of what those cards are. So how do you balance like the intuition with the meanings of the cards whenever you give a reading?
Um. Oh, actually, sometimes it does, autopilot. It's like, okay, this is the meaning of this card.
Yeah.
But then there are times when it feels like that doesn't feel like what that means right now. And then that's
Mm.
when the whole like the artworks in the card, like, okay, I'm looking at this particular
Mm.
section of the card.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's say let's pull out a card right now.
Sure.
Oh, okay, so the Nine of Pentacles. Would
Okay.
you like
Oh,
to? you're,
got it.
you're
Got it.
figuring
Here we
out
go.
how to. So when I was like sometimes when this card comes out, I'll see, okay, the tree looks like a dancer, looks like he's having a good time,
Hmm.
and then I'm gonna look at like say the swing. And
Yeah.
like if the reading, like we're talking about something now, I'm like, why am I looking at the swing right now? Maybe there's something to do with being a little bit more playful, having fun, bringing that childlike innocence out.
Hmm.
Maybe you've been working so hard that you've forgotten to enjoy yourself and have fun.
Mm.
So sometimes, yes, the meaning of the card is going to be there. Like, say, the actual meaning of the Nine of Pentacles is financial abundance. It talks about being in a space where you have the luxury to explore other things because you don't have to worry too much about the finances or the practical
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I'll be like zooming into that particular element on the card and be like, oh,
Sure.
yep, maybe you need to enjoy and have fun a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. It makes a lot of sense because sometimes yun nga, it's like, do you have to be so like uh faithful to like the meaning of the card that you were
Hmm.
taught? But I guess yeah, I think there's a little bit more freedom as an intuitive
Yeah,
reader that in.
exactly.
Yeah. And then for now, let's take a quick break from the questions. I do have a couple people who sent in their questions as well, and then I'll add a little. Usually, because for predictions, we do like, okay, what does the card say about uh dating trends for this year? Like, is it possible to do that for funsies?
For funsies, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because
Let's go.
once again, we are doing tarot readings, so this is a disclaimer that this does not dictate how your life will end up in 2025. Take it however it resonates, right?
Exactly.
But that's not what you guys usually say, or
Yeah,
like the
take it
ones
with a grain of salt.
take it with a grain of salt as well. So there was one in, I think it was in Telegram, and you can send in those questions monsters through Telegram or Viber through the text line 0961 1367 931. So here's Rosen saying, I've been anxious if I would be able to be a permanent employee at my current job. I only started 3 months ago. And I really want to be a part of the company because they challenge me and I feel like I can grow. I love that for you, Rosen.
Same.
What
Yeah.
are the things I should work on to believe in myself a bit more? That's a beautiful
That's a
question. What
beautiful
a great way to
question.
start it. Okay, so what are the things that I need to work on to believe in myself a bit more?
Okay, well, I pulled out two cards for
Okay.
you. So first of all, we've got the Seven of Cups
Seven
in
of Cups
reverse.
in reverse.
So what you need to work on initially, honestly, it's filtering out. I think maybe there has been a lot of things running through your mind that you're like, I need to do this, I have to do this, I have to be this, blah 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 blah. But when you start filtering that out, like coming to your essence,
Mm,
essentially, like they hired you for a reason. They trust in your skills. So why are you doubting yourself?
mm.
So filter that out. Now the other card that was here was the Eight of Cups.
Eight of Cups.
The
Oh,
Eight
seven and
of
eight.
Cups, yes, 7 and 8.
Okay.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So the Eight of Cups now reminds you to let go of what doesn't work for you. So I think if you do want to continue moving forward with them, you have to be able to just trust yourself a bit more, letting go of all the negative self doubt, but
Mm,
also like just enjoying. I mean, it's fine right now,
yeah.
so just enjoy it. And as you grow and as you evolve with the company, everything will turn out better.
I love that. And Rosen, that's such a lovely question. And monsters, you can provide context also in the questions that you want. You can make it a
Yes,
novella if you
context.
want.
Context is key.
It helps.
It
I feel like
does.
it would help like your readings as
For
well,
sure.
diba? So send in those questions with a little bit of context to the text line 0961 1367 931, or through the comments section of YouTube and Twitch. Our Facebook is under maintenance. The joke. It's undergoing technical difficulties. But yes, catch us live on YouTube at RX931 or through Twitch at Monster RX931. There's a YouTuber, your ate. No question exactly, but she's just asking for a reading. I'm assuming, and I'm speaking for her on her behalf, I guess, how her 2025 is going to look like.
Okay. How your 2025 is.
Your ate is asking.
My ate is asking.
Yeah.
Hi, ate.
All right.
So, ate, 2025 for you, the Hermit.
The Hermit. We
What?
talked about
Okay,
it.
so
Yes.
again, what I love about the Hermit is that 2025 feels like a year for you to come back to yourself, to make better choices for yourself, but more about what makes sense to you. So
Mm.
coming into your solitude, coming into your comfort zone and all that,
Mhm.
it's allowing you to get to know yourself a bit more. So maybe 2025 for you is learning more about who you are, what your values are, and how you can shine your own light into other people's.
I think like knowing what your values are, when you really dive deep into that, I think that's so helpful because it affects all other parts of your life, I think,
Yeah.
diba? Because parang it's like that's what you stand for. That's what you
Yes.
live for. So there we go, ate. I hope,
Thanks,
I
ate.
hope that was helpful for you guys. We also have one from Nasha. How is my 2025 going to look like? What is her theme
Ooh,
for this year?
let's go. Theme for the year. Okay, your theme for the year is the Ace of Wands.
Ace of Wands. Oh,
Okay,
this is pretty.
thank you. The Ace of Wands is all about a newfound sense of drive. So when you are inspired to do something, take action immediately. Make sure that you'll get your, like, once you get the ball rolling, it's just gonna go uphill from there, and it's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so great,
Mm,
especially that burst of inspiration.
mm,
It won't Inspiration won't last too long. I mean, like, it won't stay there very long. So you have to be able to find a way to keep yourself motivated. So
okay.
keep that fire alive.
All right. So Nasha, I hope that helps as well and that you're guided by it throughout 2025. So let's do one that's like very random, like the one that I
Mm.
teased about earlier. So should I do dating? What's something that is what would be what do you think would be a hala, wait lang. Do you think would be the sige na, let's go with dating trend. I really went back
Let's
there.
go.
Okay, so what would be a dating trend, or like what would be the theme of dating trends, like in general for 2025? We've seen so many of it last year. So for this year, what are we going to see more of? Dropped.
It fell. Okay, so the card that I got was a Three of
Three of
Wands. So
Wands.
what I love about the Three of Wands is that it talks about setting good foundations.
Mm-hmm.
So dating trends is about getting to know people and setting up, like, getting your foundations strong.
Mm.
So what's that song? The house won't fall if the bones are good.
Hosier. That's a Hosier
Yes.
song.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
So
I love
that
that
one.
song.
So when you are dating, start seeing, like, okay, what values
Yeah.
align, what are the things that make sense, what that work for us
Yeah.
as a couple, and then getting those foundations in, that's a really good place to start.
I love it. I'm glad now that I asked this question. So it's a little bit more encouraging for those who are looking to date or looking to improve their relationship or something. So there we go. We have a couple more questions. Sure. Oh, see, diba? Oh, once again, guys, diba? It's getting fun. Okay. So the question is what area of my life requires more attention right now? From Arc of Osiris. All
What
right.
area of
Of my
your
life
life?
requires more attention right now. And feel free to keep sending those questions on YouTube or on Twitch at RX931 and at Monster RX931, respectively.
Okay, what area of your life needs attention? You've got the Six of Wands.
Six of Wands.
So the Six of Wands talks about progress, moving up. What are the lessons? What are the things that you're working on to make you level up?
Mm.
So I think whatever area that is in particular, I think you have to figure out what your goal is exactly. So I don't know if that actually answered the question, but, like, it feels so general. You know what? I'll pull another card.
All right. Because his intuition says so.
Okay, so we got the star.
Star.
And like I said earlier, the star, again, is all about achieving those dreams and goals that you want for yourself, knowing that it is within reach. So tying those two together, I feel like what needs your attention now is, what is that goal that you've been wanting for the longest time, but you've been putting off for the longest time.
Yeah.
Now, the Six of Wands says you're just going to keep progressing. Take those small steps, small actions into making that dream into a reality. So I like that.
All right, there we go. Arc of Osiris. That is what you need to focus on right now for this year. Okay, do we have any more? We will get to your questions. Keep asking. We will get to them throughout the show because, of course, it's really fun doing these readings with you guys anyway. But we'll talk a little bit as well about a little bit more about your experience as a tarot reader. Did you ever do a reading for someone who intimidated you, maybe, or was probably famous and might have like? And if you did, like, did you feel any pressure, and did that possibly affect your reading?
It's funny because yes, I have, but also like I didn't know they were. So
Oh, okay, okay. So no,
so
no
there's no
pressure.
pressure. It was
Okay.
like I found out after the fact, and I was just like, oh, I see.
Okay, all right.
That's fine.
Well, that's good. But like, so aside from that experience, like, no one
Intimidate-
you, no, yeah,
intimidated?
intimidating.
Um,
Like,
yes,
do
actually,
a reading.
especially when I first started reading,
Mm.
like reading professionally.
Yeah.
There are times when I could feel the person is very closed off. Where,
Oh,
yeah, I mean, body language says a lot,
yeah.
but also like when I'm reading the cards, normally they just flow, and I'm just like, oh, this means that, blah, 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 blah.
Mm.
But then sometimes I'm kind of just like, why can't I read anything? Why
Mm.
can't I like none of these symbolisms, not even the meaning of the card is coming to the front of my mind. So I'm just like, okay, this person's probably like very hesitant about this. So in that way, I'm kind of like, okay, how do I pivot? How do I make them feel comfortable? Usually,
Okay.
this is the start of the like first 10 minutes of the
Yeah.
reading where they're like super closed off.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Maybe it's people skills that I'm able to make them feel more
Maybe
comfortable.
you're an empath na rin.
Maybe.
Part of you. That's why you're able to do this.
But also, I'm
I
a
see
very
that.
friendly person, so
Yeah, I love that.
Like,
Okay. Mm-mm.
I feel like once people get settled in, they feel more comfortable around me. That's when they start letting those walls down, and that's when all the cards are starting to make those connections.
Okay.
Like sometimes I feel it, like
Yeah.
everything that was just like example 10 cards are on the table, and
Mm-mm.
the first 5 minutes were just blank. When I feel like they let their walls down, suddenly, oh, this
Floodgates
means
open.
this and that. Okay.
I love. Okay. So it's important, I guess, or it's more helpful to have an open mind. Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
Like
for
when you,
sure.
instead of you coming in with like hesitation or doubt or
Yeah.
skepticism.
I mean, healthy skepticism is always healthy
yeah,
because at
yeah.
the same time, like these are just pictures
Yeah.
on paper.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but they're also some really good advice
Mhm.
that these pieces of paper and this person
Mhm.
can give.
Yeah. If you could read cards for someone, let's say someone famous, if you could think of anybody that you want to read their cards with, who would it be?
Ariana Grande.
We'll hold space for that.
Yes. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah. I love
It's
it.
been a very witchy year, so I appreciate that.
Oh, okay. And okay, so you said Ari and Cynthia, which I love, by the way, and I'm sure they would be more than game. Please, I'm sure they
Yes.
would be. um, because like I did this practice with Coach Kimmy Lou last week, so she asked me to give this year a word in which so that all the choices and the moves that you make this year point back to that word. So it's like your it's almost like your buzzword for 2025. If you were to choose one,
One
what
word.
would it be? One word. So for me, what I told her, and I'm living and I'm trying to imbibe it, is unapologetic. So it's like post more, like not care about what I'm posting, what I'm putting out there, whatever.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wait, give me a second.
Sure. Go for it.
I want to say unapologetic. Oh no, disciplined.
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 Okay.
That's the word of the year for me.
Why do you
'Cause-
feel like you need discipline for?
well, first of all, I feel like I haven't been as committed to a lot of the things that I've been wanting to do.
Mm,
Like I'm gonna, let's say with the tower, for last year I would do it every now and then,
mm,
but I wasn't as like, oh, I'm gonna make this happen,
yeah.
as compared to the previous years when it was like, this was me, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And also my art, at one point I was like, okay, I'll just do it every now and then when I can.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like coming back to my journaling situation, it's all about how am I going to keep this going for me, not for anyone else, but because I need this for myself and I want this for myself.
Yeah.
And one of the other goals that I have is a gym, like a proper like fitness goal.
Yeah.
So like, okay, I need to commit to actually making that happen.
Mm-mm.
And another thing, a little bit more disciplined, but this might be more on relationship side, is I need to reply to people in real time. So the discipline of actually seeing the message and
Mhm.
replying as soon as I can.
Then I feel so lucky that you replied to me.
Because it's the year. That's the year.
Okay, that makes sense. Sure, sure.
No, because like I've been called out by my friends, and it's all just for fun. They're like,
Mhm.
when if you message CJ, like wait 3 to 5 business days for a
Ah,
reply.
okay, okay. All right.
So I'm like, oh, okay, let's fix that.
That makes sense. Well, I mean, hopefully that resonates with you throughout the rest of the year, and
Mm.
that you like, yeah, that's why it's like a buzzword because it's like this is what your intention is for the
Yeah.
year, so it's like you have to live that for this year. Parang ganon. But
Mhm.
anyway, so there we go. Disciplined,
Discipline,
apologetic,
apologetic.
yeah. And okay, so let's do a little bit more questions. I'm sure you monsters want to keep asking them at Monster RX931. If you want to do comment section on YouTube and Twitch, if you're watching there, or through the text line 0961-1367-931. We've got a question from Cyril. Kinuwento sa atin.
Okay.
So 2024 was a low note. There were parental issues and also still job hunting since last month of last year. And so what's this? So is there any guidance points for Cyril to ponder on so he can grab the career that aligns with his passion for community and the music acts that he loves and wants to see? It's his goal kasi to step up a notch with regard to his passion.
Ooh. Okay. So what
So
advice?
what are the guidance points or like, what's yeah, what can he focus on so that he can grab the career that aligns with his passion for community and music?
Okay, so I don't know if this is gonna answer it exactly, but the card that I pulled
Ace
for
of
you is the
Pentacles.
Ace of Pentacles. Now, what the Ace of Pentacles talks about is new opportunities that are presenting themselves for you to grow. And honestly, I feel like a good, well, I guess, good rule of thumb is when you are passionate about what you do, you're gonna start finding those, like, people are gonna start gravitating towards you. And if there is a particular um, career path or job that you want, and it feels like, okay, I'm gonna just shoot my shot and try making this happen for myself.
Mm.
Sometimes opportunity knocks on you, but sometimes you also have to go find that
Mhm.
opportunity for yourself.
Right.
Right.
All right.
But
So
yeah, like the community also, I think, especially if you're building community, wanting people together, that the Ace of Pentacles can also feel like it's a lot of growth. So
yeah.
being on that same mindset will help you get to where you want to be.
Mm. All right, there, Cyril. I hope that helps as well. Up next, we have Jen, who's asking, "Hi, can I ask how my 2025 would look like financial wise?"
Let's go.
Jen.
Well, the card has jumped out.
Ooh.
Knight of Cups. So
Knight of Cups.
financially, honestly, the Knight of Cups as a card talks about being in the most ideal situation. So that might be a really good sign. But it's also like, it's always a romanticized idea, the Knight of Cups. So I think in as much as it does feel like it's a good thing, you might want to be more cautious, like not to just spend on the things that make you feel like, oh, it's this is great, this is all fun, because the money might
Mm,
disappear if you don't, if you're not responsible about it.
right.
I guess what I'm saying is the Knight of Cups is like, okay, let's, yes, romanticize the idea that the money is here, it's there, it's
Mm-hmm.
abundant, but also be very careful about it.
Okay. So be more
Mindful and
mindful,
demure.
demure for 2025. Jen, hopefully that helps you. You also have a question from May who sent it in through YouTube at RX931 on our live stream there. Can I get a theme for this year too?
Let's go. What is your theme?
It's like ASMR when you shuffle. You can hear it.
You, on air as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Wait, sorry, what was the question? What's the
What?
theme?
Yes, what is May's theme for this
All
year?
right, May, your theme is the Six of Cups. Now, this
Oh,
card is all about being in the moment. It's like a joyful inner child kind of situation.
love
So
it.
for you, I think for the year is all about healing that inner child and feeling the fun in things again.
Mm.
Which honestly, as adults, we kind of forget a lot.
True.
We do.
True. It's really like because life really gets the better of us
Yeah.
and we neglect to we barely would even think about having time to ourselves to just
Mhm.
really know what we should do, like how what makes us happy
Yeah.
anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, true. So May, make your inner child happy, right? Diba that's the message? Diba?
Yes.
Okay, I was
Yes,
like
yes,
making
yes.
sure. I'm making sure. From Mitch as well. What would be life? What would be life like for me in 2025? Do, 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 do.
Let's go ASMR.
I know it's lovely.
What is life going to be?
Like for Mitch.
Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you've got the Seven of Wands.
It looks so.
So the thing
fiery.
is, with the Seven of Wands, it's a reminder for you to trust yourself a bit more. If there are challenges that you're going to be facing, make sure that you stand your ground.
Mm.
Know, again, this comes back to your values, to you
Mm-mm.
knowing your self worth, like just being more grounded in who you are and knowing who you are.
Mhm.
Everything else, any other challenge that is going to come your way, you'll know how you'll be able to face it
Mm-mm.
because you know who you are.
There we go. Wait. I know that. There's a movie. Wait, do you know Moana?
One, two,
Huh? Yung
one.
parang,
Which
do
one?
you know who you
Oh,
are?
yeah,
Diba?
yeah, yeah.
That's the first thing that came to mind. But Moana. Rewatch that, Mitch, maybe. That might.
Yes.
Diba? We were Voyagers. Anyway,
I am
we digress.
Moana.
But anyway, monsters, you can still keep sending those questions. We are ending the show in a bit. So if you want to throw in those questions, be sure to throw them yesterday
Yeah.
through the text line 0961 via Viber or Telegram, or through YouTube at RX931, or through Twitch at Monster RX931, because we are live there as well. And so we'll do a couple more questions. We'll take a little break. And then, oh, wait. Let's come up with another something for 2025. How will we see it? No. What are we going to see more of in the celebrity space? Because last year, right? Cheating scandals, mga screenshots, receipts like this, like that. So for 2025, oh my gosh, wait, let's make it spicy. What is going to be the kalat in 2025 among celebrities?
Okay, what's the kalat? What's the
What's the
kalat?
kalat?
You know what? Normally I would not, but this is fun.
Diba?
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so Page of Cups. What
Like,
is the kalat? The thing is, the Page of Cups talks about just being okay. So the Page of Cups, in its normal meaning,
Mhm.
talks about that childlike sense of wonder,
Okay.
being um letting life take you by surprise. So it's gonna be a surprise. But
Hala.
I feel there's gonna be a lot of like distractible things. So people's attention will be like, yeah, it feels like the attention for a lot of things are gonna be like
Okay.
ADHD ish.
So a lot of things will be
A
happening.
lot of things will be
kind
happening.
of.
Okay, but what is it? You know what? Let's just do another one. 'Cause I feel like I
again,
didn't
again, this
answer it.
is not, these are disclaimers again. Like, this is just for fun.
Okay, so
Okay,
star in
guys.
reverse.
Star in reverse.
So, well, I'm celebrity star,
But in reverse.
but in reverse. No, it might mean that there might be some people whose star is falling.
I know. I was thinking about
Falling
that. It's like,
star?
what if a fall
So
from
maybe
grace?
a fall from
Or
grace,
something
maybe,
like
and that might be where the attention of people will be going.
Yeah, I like.
Fall from
I like that
grace.
better. But who is
But
the
who?
question, diba?
But
Mark Torres. Okay, so again, that was nice and spicy. I liked it.
spicy.
For Mark Torres, what would my love life be like in 2025?
This is the first love life
I
question,
know.
which
It's like,
is surprising.
guys, are we giving up on love reading?
Well, second from the dating one, but
Right.
someone asked
For someone to ask. Yes, this is the first one. So
alright.
thank you, Mark.
Mark, what's your love life situation? Ace of Wands again.
Ooh.
So I feel like whatever relationship, it does feel like something new can happen. There
Mhm.
might be something in the works for you for this year. The Ace of Wands is like potentials. Things
Mhm.
are gonna start popping up. So I think also just strike while the iron is hot. So when you do feel that spark of connection, write it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Don't
Okay.
hesitate.
Yes, don't hesitate. Like, hesitation is for the weak. Hindi naman, but it's like,
Hesitation will get you nowhere.
exactly. And if the opportunity is right in front of you, take it, because you don't know when it's gonna come around again.
Opportunity is not a lengthy visitor.
Oh, so, ano, that should be a T-shirt.
Cinderella.
What?
I got
Really?
that, Roger and Hammerstein's Broadway.
Oh, okay.
Musical theater geek here.
I love it. I love that we're quoting like movies.
Musicals.
Yeah, musicals.
So this is a reading with me generally. I will have lots of quotes. The
No.
memory bank.
But that's great, because at least it's still referencing like from something that's pop culture or
Yes.
something like
Sometimes I reference RuPaul.
that. There we go. Any more questions, monsters? Keep sending them at RX931. We'll do a couple more questions for CJ, and then giving you time to, clean up to come up with your question.
Kasi you're talking about kalat kanina.
Yeah. We gotta clean up the kalat, okay, before it starts. So, Gail has a question. Wait, what is
Oh.
your mic to? Okay, there we go.
Hi, monsters. Voluntary OT.
Yeah.
Can I ask about my love life?
Yeah.
For 2025.
Let's go. You know what? Why don't you shuffle it? Well, since you're here.
You don't know how to
Just
shuffle.
Just like.
Did you not play card games before?
They're also much bigger also.
I can handle that.
Okay, yep. Pick one. So the question is, what is your love life
Yeah.
for this year?
How is it looking?
Look at that, 9 of Pentacles.
What is that?
So the 9 of Pentacles talks about flourishing. Yeah, that's the card I pulled out earlier as well. It talks about flourishing. It talks about being rooted and grounded, but also
Mhm.
like allowing yourself to feel that abundant vibe. The abundance in love could mean a lot of different things. But also like I feel like there is a lot of growth for you in that department. But I think more than that, what I'm looking at is the way the tree looks.
Yeah.
Like she looks just
Like she's dancing.
like she's dancing, like she's having a good time. So I feel like there's a lot of self-love happening this year. The focus might be that.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
There you go.
That's what I was
You're
kind of
welcome.
expecting also for this year.
This year is all about self-love.
Yeah, last year it started with self love, like peace,
Mhm.
and now more of it.
Oh,
Yes.
Thank
love
you
it.
very
You're
much.
welcome.
Because you honestly can never get enough of it.
Exactly.
Diba? So
Because
there.
if you can't love yourself, how are you gonna love someone else?
Yes, exactly. There we go. The RuPaul finally came in in the conversation. All right. Well, so a couple more questions, Monsters. Send them once again through the comment section at RX931 on YouTube, at Monster RX931 on Twitch, and through the text line via Viber or Telegram 0961-1367-931. I am still surprised that there's only one about love life.
Yeah,
That's
I'm very surprised.
people are more focused on themselves, which I love.
Which I love.
I
Yeah.
love that. It's like because you accomplish more apparently. If you're single, you can accomplish so much more than you would if you were partnered up. So there is some signs and symbols about that. So for your when you do like New Year's, for example, like how do you usually have a tradition that you do leading up to a new year, aside from the resolutions part, which all of us do, but do you have something that's like, uniquely your own, leading up into or preparing yourself for the new year that you do?
Well, so 2 years ago,
Mhm.
so 2022 coming into 2023 coming into 2024.
Mhm.
I was in Iloilo
Mhm.
I spent the Christmas with my yaya.
I remember this story.
Right?
I love that.
And as much as I want to do it, we weren't able to do it this year, but next year that's the plan.
Mm.
But what I liked about that was I had my moments by myself, my solitude,
Mm.
my hermit moment,
Yeah.
where I'm able to like figure out what is it that I actually want for myself, and then start planning my goals.
Mm.
So that the one for 2024, I unintentionally achieved all of the goals that I set. I didn't even
Wow.
plan on making them happen, but like they all just like when I was looking back at the notebook, I was like, oh, I did that.
Mhm.
Like there's only one thing that I didn't do, but which was join Spartan race. But
Haven't yet either.
that's this year's goal
Yeah.
to actually do that. But the other things were like, well, I stopped smoking. I
That's
a year,
amazing. Yeah.
a year. I
Yeah.
stopped smoking. I attended capoeira, and then I started doing levy wanding. I started
Mhm.
doing yoga.
Mhm.
So these fitness thingies kind of built on each other. Like I may not have done the Spartan race, but
Yeah.
I feel like last year was prepping me to like do that
Mm-mm.
because I can't run or do those obstacles if I can't breathe.
No, that makes sense. But also, you mentioned levy wanding, so
Yes.
please explain that for those who are
Sorry.
or have not seen your stories.
Yeah, okay, so it's a magical wand.
Mhm.
So it's a floating stick.
Mhm.
So it's a flow art that it's the illusion is the wand is just floating around you.
Yes.
And it's amazing cardio. Because when I'm using it, I'm kind of running around the whole place. I'm spinning around. I'm incorporating my capoeira moves, my yoga moves into
That's
it,
great.
being like, okay, how can I do a cartwheel with a wand whipping
Whoa.
around my face? I almost did it. It hit me in the face, but like progress.
Yeah.
It's a flow art that is not really big here yet.
Yeah.
Usually it's poi,
Yeah.
the dragon staff and stuff. Those are really cool. I still want to learn those things later on,
Mhm.
but my focus is this now.
The flow art is kind of similar to like you also tried the orb.
I
one,
did. Yeah, that's
diba?
one of them.
Yeah.
I haven't been doing that because I have forgotten that it exists.
But the wanding, at least that you've kept consistent at it. Because I remember
Yes.
earlier, like in 2024, when you talked about it, like I remember you have the training stick that you brought
Yes.
to the show, and then parang the string broke though or something.
Yeah.
That's
You know what? Next year I will bring it.
Yeah, that was my demo. But
There's space.
yeah, there we
We'll
go.
turn off the lights and because it
Oh
lights
yeah, because
up.
yeah, it lights up. That's
So,
that's the magic of
That's
it.
the magic of it.
Yeah,
It lights up.
I love it. Well, for all of you monsters, if you have no more questions, we've got Jazz finally. Jazz is wants to know my health, love life, and career this 2025 from Jasper. Jasper, what is your
Jasper.
health and love life and career looking like in 2025?
Health, love life, career.
Mhm.
Okay, let's do 3 cards then.
Ooh,
Health,
nice.
love life, and career. Okay, so health, looking pretty good. You got the Ace of Cups.
Ace of
I think what you want to focus on is your emotional health. So the Ace of Cups usually talks about feeling your feelings.
Mm,
So look into that more. Honor those emotions a bit, and take time for yourself to process all of the things that you are feeling. Journaling helps, but
mm,
also like taking a breath and taking a moment before you react to things. I think that might be a very good place to start.
true.
Now, relationship wise, you've got the Knight of Swords.
Mhm.
So if you are in a relationship, think before you act. So maybe slow down a little bit. Don't be too impulsive with certain things.
Mhm.
Maybe again, taking a break, taking a pause before you say acting. Before you act.
Mhm.
What was the last one? Finances.
The career.
Career.
Yeah.
So career, you've got the Queen of Swords
Queen of
in
Swords.
reverse. So with the Queen of Swords, this is a reminder for you that you might have to set your boundaries, but also know, like, yeah, set your boundaries
Mhm.
essentially. So for career, you have to know when to clock out.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's yeah.
Gail. Clock out. Joke lang. Joke lang.
You have to clock out.
All right. So, Jasper, thank you for sending that in. Monsters, any last minute questions before we say goodbye? This has been super fun, CJ. It's always so fun to have you here on the show. Like, literally easy to talk to now. Like, it's just like every year there's always an update, there's always something new. And I think it's just it's lovely. It's lovely hearing your readings as well. I'm trying to think of a question for me, but I can't yet. Wait, give
Mm.
me a second. Ano pa ba? Ano pa ba? Wait, I want to know. Okay, sige. First question. Siguro, let's do first. What's my theme na rin? Because okay, so you know that my um word, intentional word for this year is unapologetic. I want to know what the cards will say, what my theme will be, or how to live my life in 2025.
Shuffle,
Shuffle?
please. Yep.
Shuffle. Okay. Yeah, they're big indeed. Wait lang. Teka lang. I can do this. Oh, 'di ba?
I want to take a
Oh,
video.
oh, 'di ba? I can do this. I can be a dealer at a casino. Can you tell like I have been the shuffler of like my titos and titas? They play what do you call that? How many
Poseidon.
not posoidos. Ah, no. What is it? Um
Huh?
no. The dong its.
Dong.
Dong its. Dong its. There we go. How many times do I shuffle?
As many as you
As
want.
three is good number.
Okay.
And then just
What is your
what is my how should I live my life in 2025?
one card?
Any card.
Anywhere. You've got the Ace of Swords.
But how I got it was like in reverse.
Oh, okay.
So,
So, how
mm-mm.
you want to live your life, you might want to think differently. Think so again, changing your perspective. It's yeah, you know what? It makes
Mm.
sense because it's all about being authentic.
Mhm.
It's being true to you, not caring about whatever. The perfection is out the window.
Yeah.
So with the Ace of Swords, this card reminds you, like, you know what? If you are thinking the same way over and over again, you're gonna be stuck in the same loop.
Mm.
But if you think differently, as you are going to do now,
Mhm.
things are going to start changing.
So it's in line
It is
with
in
being
line.
unapologetic.
Yes.
Okay.
I
So
feel it.
it's thinking differently in a way that serves me.
Yeah. Yeah, always.
Yes.
You always have to find a way to make it
Nah,
positive.
right.
Yeah.
Because like right, I mentioned like, I wanted to be unapologetic for this year because specific example, like I always overthink what to post, what to write as a caption or anything, which delays the whole posting process.
Mm.
So like for me, I just like don't I want to think less and just like flow through the creativity, whatever I come up with in my socials, and then just lead with that.
Yeah, do it. Oh, what I learned recently, because it's very helpful.
Hmm.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's super
I
helpful for sure.
the thing is, I write all of my thoughts first,
Mm.
and it's a very chaotic. It's always very chaotic because my train of thought is very very fast.
Mm.
Thank you ADHD. But like when I put it down on my notes and then I just copy paste, it's like help me make sense of this. Like,
Yeah.
can you please make this flow better or more concise?
Hmm.
And then it translates essentially everything I wrote, but more structured. And then I go back to it. I'm just like, okay, let me edit and see what makes sense for me. Does
Yeah.
it still feel like me? Is this something that I would write if I was a good writer?
Okay.
So yeah, use technology to your advantage.
True. I did that whole like sorry, this is a little bit of a conversation now, but I did that whole like how will my life look like? Where you have like people do chat GPT to for like to give themselves to give it a prompt based on like my life as a blah 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 whatever, and then like how would a day in my life look like as someone who has achieved all these things.
I've done that.
Yeah, I did that too, and I was like, that sounds so nice. So
I want to have this life.
yeah, right. So you should try it as well. Maybe a
It's-
nice way
It
to also
is.
start the year. Like,
That's how I prompt my journals for every day.
mm,
So okay, so just a little backstory. It's like my journals are about like again, I said I wanted focus, I wanted creativity, I
Mhm.
wanted all of these things.
Mhm.
And then it gave me a plan. Like the whole month plan of like, okay, week 1 we're going to focus on your focus and dedication and commitment.
yeah.
Next week is all about creativity.
Mm.
And then I've forgotten the other two. But that's the good thing about it. It's like every day, like while I'm working, it's like, okay, a little bit at a time. And then here we
Yeah.
go. Magic.
And it works, and it works, and it's working.
And it's working.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, those are all the questions that Monsters have for you. I do have one last because I've never asked this for any reader before. What does the year of the monster look like? What does 2025 look like for the monster?
Let's
Chon,
go.
chon. No pressure.
No pressure.
Depending on the answer, you'll come back next year. Joke lang.
Depending on the answer.
Joke lang.
Let's see. The pressure.
No, we love you too much.
Oh,
Go.
you know what?
Mm.
Why don't you both pick one?
Hello. It's up to us. Okay, for context.
One for each of us.
Okay.
Okay.
So, do I shuffle or no? No.
Any. You can shuffle. You cannot. Whatever.
I'm
Whatever
just gonna,
feels
like,
right.
Cut and fold. Cut and fold. Okay. Now I feel like you're just putting the pressure on us kasi. Oh, sige. I won't look at it.
Burden.
I will look at it together, Gail. Gail is still here, Monsters. In case you guys didn't know. Okay, I'll switch on your mic na rin.
Okay.
Okay, so
Hi.
the card that we
So-
got, the card that I got is Rebirth.
I love that.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, the one that I got, Ace of Cups.
Ace of Cups.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
And the card
Okay.
that I got is the Four of Wands.
Oh.
So we'll take that as let's start off first with rebirth.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it feels like there is change that is happening.
Uh-huh.
Good things.
Mhm.
There may be some things that will start, some chapters that will be closing,
Oh,
but it only makes sense because what is going to happen now moving forward is something bigger and better.
yeah.
And that leads to the Ace of Cups, which is it feels more fulfilling. Whatever
Yeah.
this is, whatever is happening for the monster,
Mm.
is gonna be a little bit more emotionally fulfilling. So I think the things that we're ending are things that didn't really resonate anymore.
Mm.
And now with the Four of Wands, what I love about it is that it's all about building that sense of community, people to celebrate. Ah,
Mm.
so that makes sense.
Oh my gosh, we're off the hook.
So I'll be
I
back
love
next
it.
year.
Yes,
Next
yes.
week.
Next week.
Next week.
Yes, of course, we're gonna have you back next year as well for predictions. And yeah, there we go. What a nice way to end.
Yes.
What a
Woo!
nice way to end.
To end Heard on Thursdays tonight. And thank you to all the monsters who have kept it locked since 11. We are past overtime, but you know what? As long as you guys enjoyed as much as we did, that's all that matters. And with that, we end the show. And once again, thank you, CJ, for coming in.
Thank you so much for
And-
having me.
And just like, being game all the time to come in. And it's just so much fun when you do also. So, monsters, thank you for keeping a lock, sending those questions. We are going to do predictions episodes in a couple weeks again. So do stick around for that. For now, let's go back to one last song before we sign off and keep it locked only here on The Monster. Bye, everybody.
Bye.